Hi guys, back with my next pod review, or should I call it my post-dinner torture session, because that's pretty much what it's going to be, I think. It's been a day since I had the Jolokia, and yeah, it's easily the nicest chili I've eaten. Absolutely gorgeous. The flavour was beautiful. Sweetest one I've eaten yet. This one I think is going to be a little bit different. This is the Bhut Jolokia Indian Carbon. Look at that. It's an extremely nice looking pod. Love the shape of it. It's got that Bhut Naga look. Extremely bumpy. Nice size on it. Nice fair size, and yeah, just a good looking pod in general. I've done a little bit of research on the Indian Carbon bit, and it came from pepperlover.com, as advised by Gary Anson, who also sent this pod. And all I could really find was that it's different to your average ghost chili. I couldn't find out exactly what the difference was, but it's meant to be thinner walled and it's meant to be hotter, have a higher Scoville rating. I'm hoping this ain't going to give me cramps, because the last time I had cramps it was from a, what was it now, Trinidad Scorpion cross Bhut, so, and it looked slightly similar to this, so it's making me a little bit worried. I don't want cramps at all. So let's cut it open. Yeah, I've been really busy lately. For those of you that don't know, I've got my first child on the way, and me and my partner are having a little girl, and she's due in around about 10 weeks time. So I've been doing a lot of decorating lately, fixing up the nursery for her arrival. And yeah, just been generally a busy time. So what I don't want is to get horrible cramps to ruin my sleep. That's got quite an unusual smell. I've done a bad job of cutting it as usual. God, very unusual. It is extremely thin-walled. It's got that prominent Bhut smell, but it's got a sweet smell to it as well, and it's unusual because from all the Bhuts that I've eaten, I've never really had a sweet smell. It's always been a smell that sort of put me off or made me a little bit worried about what it's going to taste like. But I quite like the look of this. Heat wise, I think it's going to be hot, but I can't see an outstanding amount of placenta there. Look at the inside of this, it's a really nice colour. It's like the inside is all bright orange, if you'll be able to see. Doesn't really show up too well because it's night time. I've got a lamp right next to, I've got to rest my mobile phone in the crack of the laptop, which sort of holds it secure, and then I've got a light on this side of me to, but it doesn't really, even though it keeps my face lit up, it doesn't really show the inside of the pods that well. But it is a really nice colour inside. It's sort of bright orange. Do I want to keep the seeds? I'm going to say no. As I said on a comment on one of my other reviews, I've got 6 or 7 different sets of seeds now, all set to one side, labelled, ready to try and germinate before Christmas, and hopefully, you know, grow some nice pods for next year. But I don't want to have my house overfilled with plants at this minute in time, because I am experimenting with the whole growing thing. It's not something I know too much about, even though I've had some good advice. But anyway, this is the Bhut Jolokia Indian Carbon. So let's see what this does. Sent from Gary Anson. Flavour, didn't like that at all. Smelt a lot better than it tasted. I've heard people describe that when a chili has a florally taste, it was very much like that. Even, I'd say it was quite perfumey. But anyway, not pleasant. Burn, strong tongue burn. That's what I'm feeling at this minute in time. Right in the middle of my tongue. It's stinging, quite a stingy burn. I'm just hoping it don't creep back. If it stays in the mouth, I can tolerate it and have a fairly easy time. Drool's starting. Eyes are getting slightly watery, but to this point, not too bad up to this point. Please don't. Just at the top of the throat again. If it stays where it is now, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, strong, stingy tongue burn. Up to now, manageable. But again, you just don't want to talk too soon, because it can always just creep back, and I've experienced in a couple of pods you get the creepers, which they build up slowly and then they sort of knock you out. I'm roughly 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, nearly 4 minutes into this pod. And it's not too bad. Eyes are watering. Taking a leaf out of everybody else's book now. Didn't use gloves and I've just touched the tissue, but I actually got that to blow my nose, because I always find after a very hot pod, towards the end of my videos, my voice sounds really nasally because my nose is just stuffed. I think that one's about all it's got. Not bad at all. Don't get me wrong, I think that is hot, and for anybody that's not eating a super hot, like for example if I'd have took that one into work on Saturday night and gave that to my colleague who was sat next to me, Darren Hogan he's called, he's not on YouTube but I'll give him a shout out anyway. If he were to have eaten that one, it would have been a different ball game. I'd like to think it would have been. But flavour, didn't like it. Florally, tastes like perfume. But the smell was quite nice. It was like a sweet smell, so it caught me by surprise, the taste. Heat wise, quite an intense mouth burn. Yeah, it really attacked my tongue. Quite a prickly sensation. Didn't really get anywhere else in the mouth. I could feel it on the tongue, and just a touch at the top of the throat, but nothing to get me like worrying or panting like I normally do after a super hot. But I'd say the burner that's peaked now. Yeah, I suppose I quite enjoyed it. I was expecting I was expecting something really, really hot from that. And it didn't come, so it's an easy ride tonight. Just hope I don't get the cramps. I've done the last 2 reviews. Even the brain strain, got nothing from that at all. No cramps whatsoever. So I'm hoping that I found what works for me. And before this video I had a nice big fish pie. Quite high in fats. And that's going to be on the bottom. The pod will have fallen onto that, and I've got a nice big bowl of rice pudding in the microwave ready to sit on top of it, and hopefully that should solve it. But I'll be back again with another review. What I'm going to do yet I'm not sure, and I'm going to have a look at what I've got and decide, but I know at some stage soon I'm going to do something really silly with the rest of those brain strains. Maybe try and eat 3, 4, 5, I don't know, I'll have a think about it. But yeah, I need to really push myself now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, thanks Gary, as always, and I'll see you next time.